So 17th pick, guard, Georgia, Isaiah Wynn. Now we're on the 18th pick, which is the Seattle Seahawks. And they go another offensive lineman as well, Will Hernandez. And I'll put it plain and simple. Russell Wilson was running for his life. They got Dwayne Brown. It really didn't help out, as much as they wanted. Now, he did come mid-part of the season, and he had been holding out. So we don't know how much shape or how prepared he was, to just go into a season. And now he's there for another season. It might be better, but I just think they go another offensive lineman because at this point, Russell Wilson is your most important player. I mean, he's always been your most important player, but there is no way that you can have him running around for his life like that and putting himself at a risk for injury. And because you don't have anyone protecting him. So Will Hernandez, very, very simple. We don't even have to spend time on that at all. Now, the time has come. Kevin Gray is probably listening right now. We're at the 19th pick for the Dallas Cowboys. Kevin Gray's Dallas Cowboys. And this is simple. Simple. We talked about Dez earlier. We talked about, the rest of their wide receiver core. We all know, I don't think anyone would put them in probably top 10, in a receiving core. But I don't think that needs to be their focus right now. Offense at all. It's defense. And who I have the Cowboys taking is linebacker Tremaine Edmonds out of Virginia Tech. I like Sean Lee. I like him a lot. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but it's just like you have to appreciate what Sean Lee brings to the table. And that's when he's at the table. When he plays, they're a different defense. They're a different team. When he doesn't, they are totally the opposite of that team. You have to get someone that's going to be healthy. And I'm sorry. I mean, it's just bad luck, for Sean Lee. But you have to get a replacement. You have to get someone. They still need line help, and I think they'll do that, in a later round. But you get a guy like Tremaine Edmonds. He may not necessarily and you still got Jalen Smith. It seems like Jalen Smith is coming along, but you have to get a guy that's going to be available. I'm sorry. So that's Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker, and that'd be the guy that you have to take over for Sean Lee, maybe. Gary G. Money Joyner, I'm going to get back to the draft in a minute, but we want to keep this interactive. In the Wait a Minute Show chat room, Gary G. Money said Baker Mayfield used to be Davis Webb backup quarterback in Texas Tech, at Texas Tech, Interesting. Yeah, but you know what? Some things just happen later for other guys. I mean, Russell Wilson wasn't a backup, but they let him leave NC State to go to Wisconsin. Look how that worked out. Russell Wilson was supposed to be Matt Flynn. I don't want to say Matt Flynn anymore because every time I say his name, I think about how the Lions got him paid. But yeah, he was supposed to be the backup. Didn't work, it didn't work out like that, Gary G. Money Joyner also said Baker Mayfield wasn't good enough to beat Davis Webb, but Patrick Mahomes was. So what's all the fuss about Baker Mayfield? Record, stats, and being in bowl games. I mean, that's what it is. If people see more of you, they hype you up more. But we are definitely going to find out because Baker Mayfield will be starting for an NFL franchise. If not, this year, next year, definitely. And we'll see what all the hubbub, is about. So now we're on to probably my most favorite pick of all. It is not my, probably it is. The Detroit Lions, my Detroit Lions are on the clock at the 20th spot. And if you've heard this show before, you've heard me talk ad nauseum about what the Lions have to do. So I'm going to spare you about giving you a whole background of it. We suck when it comes to running. You need to get a run game and stop playing around, finding guys in the third, fourth round because you're not good at it. You know, you're not finding the Kareem Hunts. You're not finding the Alvin Kamaras. You're not finding the Devontae, Freemans. You're not finding the Tevin Colemans. You're not finding these guys. Stop playing around. Get yourself a running back. And I got them taking right now Darren Geis, running back out of UCLA. And I said the name wrong. Darius Geis out of LSU. Big back, can catch the ball, elusive, agile, push the pile. I can't tell you how many times I watched the Lions game and I saw them and it's 3rd and 1 and they're throwing the ball because they cannot run the ball at all. At all. Now, some of that is line play, don't get me wrong, but you need a running back. We have literally, we have not had a running back that any Lions fan probably can be happy about, maybe with the exception of Javid Best before he started getting the concussion. So there's nothing you can do about that when your health is at risk, but not since Barry Sanders. So very simple. Detroit needs to run a game. They get Darius Geis out of LSU, running back. Now, we're on to the Cincinnati Bengals, Nasty Nettie, and I'm going to give you a little stat. Andy Dalton got sacked 39 times, so you know where I'm going with this. Andy Dalton got sacked 39 times last year, and you let a guy like Andrew Wentworth go, and we saw what he did in L.A. I think he went to the Pro Bowl, if I remember right, and L.A. went 11-5 with a guy that I guess since he really thought he was done, or they didn't want to pay him what he was asking. So it's time to at least protect Andy Dalton for however long that is, because there's talk that Andy Dalton may not get another contract there, and then they could possibly move on. But whatever, even if he does move on, they still got to get someone back there, and they got to have someone to protect him. So I got Connor Williams out of Texas, who will get on that line and be the protector or one of the protectors for whichever quarterback is back there. Because 39 sacks, he's getting sacked 2 point whatever times a game. Automatic 2 sacks, for him. So, Cincinnati. Now, we started with Buffalo in this mock draft, and we're going to end with Buffalo with the 22nd pick. And they got their quarterback. We just got news that Richie Incognito is retiring. He's done. Unfortunately, his body will not let him continue playing. So he is worried about his health, and I cannot knock the man on that. Take care of yourself, brother. But they need a replacement now because he's gone. And they lost, who is that? Eric Wood. I think he's done. I think his career's done as well. So you need O-line help as well to protect your new quarterback. So they get Martinez Rankin out of Mississippi State. He will go in, and I think he'll, replace on the line. Doubt that he'll play center, but he'll play somewhere on the line, probably the guard spot, and help the Buffalo Bills get back to the playoffs? Is that so? Back to the playoffs? I don't know about the back to the playoffs, but they made it, so you got to give them a little bit of credit. They made it. They played Jacksonville very tight and had a chance to win. They just didn't pull it out like they should have. But that's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Recap real fast. Mason Rudolph, quarterback at the 12th pick. Deron Payne, defensive tackle at the 13th pick. Green Bay goes cornerback Minka Fitzpatrick. Arizona gets their quarterback, Baker Mayfield. Baltimore adds a weapon for Joe Flacco and Calvin Ridley, wide receiver out of Alabama. The Chargers get some more protection for the run game and Phillip Rivers, Isaiah Wynn, guard out of Georgia. Seattle, very simple. They need to protect Russell Wilson, so they get Will Hernandez out of Texas El Paso. Dallas Cowboys finds a replacement for Sean Lee and Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker out of Virginia Tech. My Detroit Lions finally get smart and go with a running back early. Darius Geis out of LSU. Cincinnati gets another offensive lineman, Connor Williams, to protect Andy Dalton and get these sacks down. And, of course, like we just said, you got your quarterback. You got to get someone to protect it. Martinez Rankin for the Buffalo Bills. So they picked twice in that. So that is my mock draft part 2. So part 3 will be Saturday on the waitaminuteshow.com. We'll be on at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll finish up the first round. So we'll do picks 23 through 32. The Patriots will be in there twice. Atlanta will be in there as well. I think Philadelphia will be in there. So very interesting as far as like what some of these teams that had success and playoff success and some of them Super Bowl success, what they'll do to try and add to their team. So we'll talk about that on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the waitaminuteshow.com. So we're going to take another break after we did all that, and we're going to get back into some NBA and talk about Rookie of the Years, who you got for Rookie of the Years, who you got for your Coach of the Year as well, and a can't stop, won't stop moment that I am going to be so happy to talk about, and someone that got a shot and they made the most, of it. And then we'll end the show strong like we always do with the Big L Award. You're listening to the Wait a Minute Show with your man, Jelani J.B. Bowden. We'll be back.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Vince Wright, the sports governor from the great state of Minnesota. Join the rest of us sports zombies on 2 Live Stews Radio. That's right, the boys are back. Doug, Ryan, and the rest of us, including me, the sports gov of Minnesota, Vince Wright, also known to the ladies as the Big Smooth. Keep it tuned here. That's right, 2 Live Stews Radio.
Lopan, they didn't even want you. Heck, they didn't even want me. But you know what? Right about now, they have no choice. Looking for the real sports talk that's for us, the people? Look no further. The Wait a Minute Show, a prime time sports comedy cocktail that tucks you in at night. Join me and Lopan Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2LiveStewsRadio.com and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Sounds like a plan to me. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Indeed.
This is number 1 Chief Rocker Jersey Vern on a Recap Monday doing his recap show. We're going to talk about sports, entertainment. We're going to have call interviews, on the spot calls. This is just a show that will bring nothing but passion and joy and understanding to all the listeners on the 2 Live Stews radio platform. The number 1 Chief Rocker Jersey Vern.
This is Key C from the
Kicking It With Key C show.
On the newly rebranded 2 Live Stews Radio Network. We will continue to bring you the hottest, most interesting guests and commentary in the areas of social issues, politics, culture, music, and more. Continue to tune in.
Let's go, give it to you.
Yo, what's good? This is Trey Frazier. This is the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Make sure y'all tune in to us every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
He's the brain of operations.
I'm telling you right now, Book it!
And him, he's along for the ride. But together, they bring you sports like you've never heard before.